right, gang, it is hump day, and I have an editorial for you. How is everybody doing? How's everybody out there faring the pandemic and getting through the lockdowns and what have you? I've been working from home since, I think, the end of March. So for the better part of the year now, I've been working from home. And before I go to work this morning, I thought I'd get up and give you guys an editorial this morning. It concerns the F word. That's right. Now let's pretend this is Sesame Street and let's say, today we're going to talk about the F word. That's right. Friend, froggy, footstool, federal. Well, that's right. Federal. We're talking about a federal lawsuit today concerning the F word and not for federal. Let's jump into it and see what I'm talking about. Thank you to the Denverite.com for the story. 2 men arrested by Denver police after using the F word during an encounter on the 16th Street Mall are suing the city of Denver and the police department, alleging First Amendment violations. Brian Loma and Michael Whitney are plaintiffs in a lawsuit filed last week in federal court alleging they were wrongfully arrested by police after yelling the F word toward cops on September 23, 2018.
That we have problems in this city. The law saying if you're not paying money, you can't sit down. There's no water. There's no toilets. If you can't pay the land, you don't.
They can, you know.
$10 million.
Hey. Yeah, take him to jail. You guys aren't willing to sign a complaint?
Yes.
All right. All right.
You don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to do that. No, it's not doing it the right way. Not doing it the right way. Do it the right way. There was a homeless person that spread 50 needles all over in front of my house today, and he almost stepped on them. It's not all good.
Hey, you're gonna get hit by the
Find
bus.
them all on Facebook. Find them. Is there facial recognition there?
Sir, I'm
No?
gonna tell you, you need to back off one more time.
Just like I
You
said.
get up here again, you're gonna be arrested.
Hey. Share this everywhere.
Yeah, you're
Share this
interrupting
everywhere.
Investigation.
On the darknet, everywhere. It's alright. We'll get you. Puppets! Hey, Pinocchio. How does it feel to be a puppet? We pull your fucking strings. The people.
You heard what they said. They don't. If they want to sign a complaint, they got kids here.
Oh, okay. Good.
Be respectful. Do it the right way. Do it the right way. Do it the right way, sir. Be a man. Be a man.
I didn't know that.
The lawsuit says Loma was arrested after yelling F the police while protesting the treatment of people experiencing homelessness. A couple eating on a restaurant patio nearby complained to police since they were with their child. Whitney, Loma's friend, was arrested after he tried to document Loma's arrest on his phone. The lawsuit said police asked Whitney not to take photos of the nearby couple. Both men were charged with disturbing the peace, though those charges were dismissed. Loma and Whitney are advocates for the homeless. The day they were arrested, they were helping distribute meals to people experiencing homelessness on a sidewalk outside the Corner Bakery Cafe. The event included a protest calling for an end to the criminalization of people experiencing homelessness. The men are represented by local civil rights attorney David Lane, who begins his lawsuit by invoking the landmark Supreme Court case Cohen versus California. The 1971 case involved a man in California who wore a jacket with the message F the draft inside a courthouse and was charged under a state law. The Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in his favor, calling it protected speech. Justice John Marshall Harlan, who would write in his majority opinion that one man's vulgarity is another man's lyric, according to the SCOTUS Archive website Oyez. David Lane said this week, quote, "We are here to train the cops that whether they like it or not, people have free speech rights, even in Denver." He's filed similar lawsuits against the department in the past, but said Denver Police Department hasn't learned. Loma shouted "F the police," prompting 2 Denver police officers to discuss whether that amounted to disturbing the peace. The lawsuit claims Loma didn't use fighting words, but the couple nearby heard Loma shouting and asked him to stop, the lawsuit says, which prompted cops at the scene to suggest that was enough to arrest Loma for disturbing the peace. Loma had used the F word twice before he was arrested. The couple then agreed to sign a complaint against Loma. Whitney photographed Loma's arrest to document what he thought was an unlawful arrest. He walked toward the couple, pointing his cell phone at them. Cops noticed this and told him not to take photos, though Whitney was still on a public sidewalk and warned him he was harassing the couple. The lawsuit says he wasn't able to take a photo of the couple and started walking away from the scene and from the cops. A cop told Whitney the couple was about to sign a complaint against him as well, leading Whitney to turn back toward the cops and said, "I did not take a effing picture." The lawsuit says the cops told him to stop swearing while they arrested him. Denver police spokesperson Jay Casillas did not comment on the lawsuit, but said profanity is protected speech. He said generally speech has to rise to the level of a threat or another criminal element to warrant an arrest or citation. So there you go. You have it all. Let's put it in a little mason jar here. We're talking about Denver after all. Now let's put it in a little jar here and say what happened was you have a guy who says, "F the police," and the police say, "Oh, they didn't like that, so you're going to be under arrest." And they arrest him for disturbing the peace, which I'll get back to in a second. Then this other guy goes ahead and to take pictures of him being arrested. The couple don't like him photographing on a public sidewalk because they don't like it. He's also arrested for disturbing the peace. And that's how cops work, not all cops in general. Anytime I say that's how cops work, I'm not talking about, this isn't a blanket statement about all police. If the shoe fits, wear it, Cinder fella. So I'm just talking about those cops, who match this, those cops who do it. So let me say that again. That's how cops think, is that, well, we can't get him on this. A lot of times you'll see the cops, they have somebody pulled over and you'll see 3 or 4 of them come up and get a little powwow. Yeah. What they're really doing is they're saying, what can we get this guy for? What can we get him for? We can get him for disturbing the peace. We can't get him for profanity, can we? No, that's protected speech. So that's what happens is that's why they were arrested for disturbing the peace, because they couldn't get him for profanity. Now, as you saw, they weren't, those charges were dismissed. Like they didn't get him for disturbing the peace because, obviously they weren't disturbing the peace. They were exercising a First Amendment right in public. If you don't want to hear the F word in a public space, then leave the public space. Not that I would start saying the F word out loud when there's kids around, but if you don't want to hear it, leave. It's not disturbing the peace. It's simply exercising your First Amendment rights. See, everybody tries to take, and the law enforcement is guilty of this. They try to take these statutes or these penal codes or these ordinances in town, and they try to bend them and squeeze them like, it's not Play-Doh, okay? We're not playing with Play-Doh. We're dealing with laws and ordinances, statutes, penal codes, You can't mold them and bend them and make them into Gumby and then say, okay, now let's make Pokey. You can't do that. They are what they are. They're written and that's it. That's what the words mean. Everybody thinks, well, you're not a lawyer. It doesn't take a lawyer to understand what a law says. You know what I mean? An ordinance, a statute, a penal code. It doesn't take a lawyer to read that and go, I better get a lawyer. I don't know what this penal code says. I can read and know what it says. You know what I mean? 148A in California. I know what it is to obstruct, delay, or resist a peace officer. I know what that is. I had a deputy who lied on his microphone by saying I wasn't giving him any information, so you're resisting me. You're not giving me any information. After I said my name 4 times, and when I said my date of birth, he went 10-21-66. Okay, name. and then told his dispatch I wasn't giving him any of my information. I mean, they twist and they mold these laws and these things into whatever they want so they can effect an arrest. And that's what happened here. They said, well, we can't get them for cussing. And the couple's offended. Well, they're offended, so that's disturbing the peace. Yeah. No, that wasn't disturbing the peace. Okay? Disturbing the peace is a whole different matter. But these cops say, well, it's personal interpretation. Bullshit. This ain't the Bible. Okay? This is law. It's written. It is what it is. It means what it means. You can't just give it some personal interpretation because you want to make it something different so that you can arrest somebody. But that's what they do. And now they're facing a federal lawsuit for an unlawful arrest. And they're saying it was over the F word, which I agree, because the F word was what prompted the cops to go over to the couple and get a complaint for disturbing the peace. It was the F word that prompted that. They don't like F the police. It bugs them. Oh, it drives them nuts. But this is to all you law enforcement officers out there. Those of you who act like an ass, you're going to be treated like an ass. Okay? And what I'm talking about is, if someone says F the police, not that that's always appropriate, but it's free speech. Just go, thank you, sir, and move on. No, I'm going to arrest your ass for disturbing the peace. Why? Because I got my feelers hurt. What do you all think about that? Are your feelers hurt? Let me know in the comment section below. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers from coast to coast and from the ground up to the mile high. I had to fit that in there. This is a Denver story. Thank you guys for watching on this hump day.